I'm gonna swipe left. You kind of look like my son.
Okay.
Okay.
They gonna know what I'm talking about.
You know, I can't wait when me and my son just go visit your grave one day. You feel me?
Yo, what's good, fam? It's your boy, back with another one. And listen, I ain't even gonna sugarcoat this one for y'all. We need to talk about how Chrisean Rock might have just put a hit out on Blueface on Instagram Live. Yeah, you heard me right. This ain't no clickbait, this ain't no exaggeration. Shorty really went on IG Live, dropped his home address to thousands of people, and basically told the streets, come get him. And the craziest part? All of this started over a joke about their baby. A joke. But by the time Chrisean was done talking, she had turned a petty dating show moment into a genuine threat on this man's life. We talking addresses dropped, death threats, grave visits, the whole nine. This situation got so dark so fast that even people who've been following this toxic relationship from day one was like, yo, she went too far this time. So let me break down exactly how we got here, what Blueface said that set this whole thing off, and why what Chrisean did could genuinely get this man killed in the streets. No cap, this is one of the most reckless things I've seen in hip-hop in a minute. Let's get into it.
Now you had a 20v1 telling whoever, however, she looked like my son.
Alright, so before we get into the new drama, we gotta set the foundation for people who might not know just how toxic this whole Blueface and Chrisean situation really is. Because trust me, this ain't their first rodeo with the chaos. These two been in one of the most publicly messy relationships hip-hop has ever seen. We talking physical fights caught on camera, police called multiple times, breakups and makeups every other week. The whole timeline been absolutely wild. Chrisean Rock, for those who don't know, is a rapper and reality star who got connected with Blueface through his reality show Blue Girls Club back in the day. From there, things got real complicated, real fast. They started dating, and from jump, it was clear this relationship was toxic as hell. We had videos of them fighting in public, Chrisean losing her tooth in an altercation, police getting involved, court dates, restraining order rumors. It was a whole mess. But through all that chaos, Chrisean ended up getting pregnant with Blueface's son, Chrisean Jr., who was born in 2023. Now here's where it gets even more complicated. While Chrisean was pregnant, Blueface was still publicly dealing with his other baby mama, lled Alexis, who he later ended up getting back with and even married. So you got this whole love triangle situation with a baby involved, and neither side handling it maturely at all. When the baby was born, people immediately started commenting on his appearance, comparing him to Blueface, and it became this whole sensitive topic online. Blueface himself made jokes about it, other people made jokes about it, and Chrisean was clearly in her feelings about people talking about her son's looks. Keep that in mind, because that's going to be important in a minute. Then, Blueface caught a case and ended up going to jail. While he was locked up, Chrisean was out here living her life, moving back and forth between LA and Baltimore, doing her own thing. The co-parenting situation between them has been absolutely terrible from the jump. We talking public disrespect on both sides, subliminal shots on social media, disagreements about custody, accusations flying back and forth. It's been a disaster. Blueface gets out of jail not too long ago, and you would think maybe they could figure out some kind of peaceful co-parenting situation for their son's sake, but nah, fam. These two can't seem to stay out of drama with each other for more than 2 weeks. Every time you think it's calmed down, something new pops off, and we right back in the circus. So that's the foundation we working with. A toxic ex-couple with a baby, zero ability to communicate like adults, and a fan base that lives for the drama. Now let's talk about what just happened that took this from regular toxic celebrity behavior to genuinely dangerous territory. So here's what lit the match on this whole situation. Blueface recently appeared on one of these YouTube dating shows, you know the type, 20 versus 1 type format, where one person eliminates contestants until they find someone they want to date. It's become real popular with rappers and influencers lately, and Blueface decided to hop on one. During the show, he's going through the girls, cracking jokes, being his usual self. Then he gets to one particular girl, and this is where everything started. Blueface looks at her, starts laughing, and says, and I quote, "You look like my son." Then he doubles down on it, keeps joking about how this girl's face reminds him of his baby boy with Chrisean. Now look, was it a tasteful joke? Nah, probably not. Was it particularly funny? Debatable. But here's the thing. Celebrities make corny jokes all the time. This was clearly Blueface being messy and taking a shot at his baby mama through a random girl on a dating show. Childish? Absolutely. Worth what came next? Not even close. The clip immediately goes viral. People start clipping it, posting it, laughing about it. Some folks thought it was funny. Others thought he was doing too much disrespecting the mother of his child. The internet did what the internet does. It picked sides and started arguing in the comments. But here's what really happened next that shocked everyone. Chrisean Rock sees the clip, and she don't just see it and roll her eyes or make a little subliminal post. Nah, shorty went nuclear. She hopped on Instagram Live, and what she said in the next few minutes might be one of the most reckless things I've ever seen someone do on social media. The IG Live starts, and you can immediately tell Chrisean is on a different type of timing. She's angry, she's emotional, and she's ready to go full scorched earth on Blueface. She starts going off about how he's bullying their child, how he's a deadbeat, how he don't deserve to be alive, and that's just the warm-up. And then Chrisean says something that made everybody watching go, oh shit. She starts talking about visiting Blueface's grave with their son. Let that sink in for a second. She's talking about taking their baby to his father's grave. She's speaking about Blueface in past tense, like he's already gone. She's saying things like, he's not going to live long, you going to die first, over my dead body. This ain't just being mad at your baby daddy. This is speaking like you know something about to happen to him. This is the type of talk that in the streets we call putting something in the air. And it only got worse from there. Now, up to this point, it's real messy and inappropriate, but technically it's still just words, right? Angry baby mama going off on live, nothing we ain't seen before in hip-hop drama, but this is where Chrisean crossed a line that you can't uncross. While she's on this rant still going off about Blueface, she does something absolutely reckless. She starts giving out his address. On camera to thousands of people watching live. She says 186 and starts rattling off his real home address where he actually lives. The chat immediately starts going crazy. People screen recording, people typing the address in the comments, people saying, yo, she bugging for real this time. Now let me explain why this is so much more dangerous than y'all might realize. Blueface is not just some random rapper with no enemies. This man has gang affiliations. He's been involved in street politics. He just got out of jail, and he's from LA, a city where giving out someone's address can genuinely get them killed. This ain't a game. There are real people in the streets who might have real problems with Blueface, and Chrisean just gave them a roadmap directly to his front door. But she don't stop there. After dropping the address, she keeps going with the threats. You not safe out here. You going to die first, over my dead body. Who let you out of jail? She's essentially telling anyone watching, if you got a problem with this man, here's where you can find him, and I co-sign whatever happens to him. That's what it sounded like to everybody watching. She wasn't just venting, she was putting out what people in the streets would call a green light. The comment section was split down the middle. Half the people were like, get him Chrisean, he deserved it for playing with your son. The other half was like, this is too far. You can't be dropping addresses and making death threats on live. Someone really could hurt this man now. And here's where the hypocrisy gets really thick, fam. Let me break this down for y'all because this part is important. Remember how I said Chrisean been moving back and forth between LA and Baltimore? Let me tell you why that's relevant right now. For months, Chrisean been on social media talking about how LA is dangerous, how she don't feel safe, how people are after her, how the streets is too hot for her to be out there. She literally packed up and ran back to Baltimore claiming she feared for her life in California. She was posting about how she needs to protect herself and her son, how LA is too wild, how she can't trust nobody. But now, after a petty joke on a dating show, this is the same person going on Instagram live dropping addresses and telling Blueface, you not safe out here? Make it make sense, fam. The same person who was scared for her own safety is now actively trying to endanger someone else's safety. The same person who said she left LA because it was too dangerous is now the one making LA dangerous for her baby daddy. And it gets even crazier when you remember what happened before. People been pointing out that Chrisean tried to start drama between Bloods and Crips in the past, making comments that could have sparked real street tension. And then, when things got too hot, she disappeared to Baltimore quick, fast. She poked the bear, then ran when the bear stood up. Now she's back on the internet doing the same thing again, throwing rocks, then trying to hide her hand. Except this time, she wasn't even trying to hide. She put her face on camera and literally said, come get him, here's the address. The streets started talking immediately. People who actually understand gang politics and how LA works were saying this could genuinely get Blueface hurt, or worse. There's a reason you don't drop addresses on the internet, especially when you're talking crazy about someone at the same time. Twitter and Instagram went crazy with reactions. People were saying, "She doing too much now, that's the father of her child. This is beyond petty, she really trying to get him killed. She stayed crying about being in danger, but she the most dangerous person in this whole situation." That's not co-parenting, that's coordinating a hit. Even people who usually side with Chrisean in the drama was like, nah, this ain't it. Because everybody could see what this really was. This wasn't about protecting her son or standing up for herself. This was about revenge, about being messy, about using the internet as a weapon. Now let's zoom out for a second and talk about what this really means, because this situation is bigger than just Blueface and Chrisean Rock. We living in an era where social media has become a genuine weapon that can cause real-world harm. What Chrisean did on that live is called doxing, exposing someone's private information to the public with malicious intent. In many states, that's actually illegal. You can face charges for that. And when you combine doxing with threats of violence, that's a whole different level of criminal behavior. This is the problem with how a lot of people move on social media now. They get so caught up in the moment, in getting their revenge, in going viral, in winning the argument, that they don't think about the real world consequences of what they doing. The internet ain't separate from real life no more. What you do online can get you or someone else killed in real life. So where do things stand now? As of right now, that Instagram live is still circulating everywhere. The address has been posted, reposted, screenshotted, and shared across every platform. You can't put that genie back in the bottle. Blueface has responded on social media, but he's trying to play it cool, making jokes about it, not taking it too seriously publicly. But behind the scenes, you know he gotta be moving different now. You know he gotta be watching his back more carefully. Because even if Chrisean was just talking crazy and didn't mean it, there's other people out there who might see this as an opportunity. As for Chrisean, she's been posting like nothing happened, doing her regular content, acting like she didn't just commit what could be considered a crime on camera. Some people saying she might face legal consequences for this. Others saying Blueface probably won't press charges because of their history and because he don't want more drama with his son's mother. But here's the real question we gotta ask ourselves: when is enough enough? At what point do we stop treating toxic relationships like entertainment and start recognizing them as dangerous situations that need intervention? The saddest part about all this? There's a baby in the middle of this chaos. A child who didn't ask to be born into this situation, who's gonna grow up and one day be able to Google his name and see all this mess. A kid who's gonna see videos of his parents threatening each other, fighting each other, exposing each other. That's the real victim in all this. So let me leave y'all with this. What we just witnessed wasn't just drama, wasn't just beef, wasn't just two celebrities going at it. What we witnessed was a woman so consumed by anger and revenge that she potentially put a target on her child's father's back. Whether you think Blueface deserved to be called out for his joke or not, I think we can all agree he didn't deserve to have his safety compromised like that. If you made it this far, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel, because we keep y'all updated on all the hip-hop drama and street politics that everybody talking about. I'll catch y'all in the next one. Peace.